WandaVision is now on Disney+. The series is about halfway over, and everybody has made video after video theorizing about what the heck is going on. Who is the bad guy? Is that Pietro? Are the Avengers ever going to show up? Magneto? Is Captain America?
Who's that? We don't know. Mystery box, you know. Then you meet Luke Skywalker, he gets the droid, you see the holographic image, you learn, oh, it's a message, you know, she wants to, find Obi-Wan Kenobi, he's her only hope.
But hey, I haven't made a theory yet. Now, the main reason why I decided to throw my hat into the ring is because after every episode of this show, I sit through countless theory videos, and not a one has presented this idea. Maybe that means that it's a dumb idea, but I like to think that it means that I'm some kind of secret genius. Or that it's just a dumb idea. One of the weirdest things about the WandaVision theory community is that everybody points out the hexagons, but nobody's been able to give a satisfactory answer as to what they mean. At least as far as I've seen. Everybody seems to be in agreement that Mephisto is the big bad, but what do hexagons have to do with Mephisto? It's too persistent of a detail throughout the series to not be significant. But what does it mean? It's AIM. It's AIM, guys. Now, for those that don't know, AIM is a group of super scientist terrorists. They actually already exist in the MCU. If you remember, they were the main villains of Iron Man 3. To my knowledge, however, they are the only significant villains in the Marvel Universe that have a hexagon as their symbol. Now, according to episode 4, this whole thing started because Wu was looking for a high-profile missing person. My guess is that it's Ralph. Most people just assume that Ralph is old Mephistopheles, but I'm going to make the bold claim that Big Red isn't even in the show. You see, I believe that Agnes's presence serves two purposes. The first is to set up her eventually training Wanda like she does in the comic books under her true identity, Agatha Harkness. For those of you unaware, she's this witch lady from the comics who's kind of famous for training Scarlet Witch. It's really no big deal, and most people are in agreement that that's who this character is supposed to be. The evidence is staggering, there's way too much of it, and honestly it'd be kind of silly at this point if it didn't turn out to be her. And the second reason is to use her comic book connections to Mephisto as a big old red herring. If I'm being honest, I think Aggie might not be a willing partner with Ralph, or anyone for that matter, and is also just another victim. Maybe she lives in the town, maybe she's seeking out Scarlet Witch, maybe she's just a victim of circumstance, I don't know. But I do think, even though her magic gives her a little more resistance than normal people, she's still a prisoner here. And whatever her original plans were, they've probably been hijacked by Scarlet Witch and or our secret character Ralph. I'm going to take a shot and guess that our boy director Hayward, that guy that nobody, and I mean nobody, trusted from the very beginning, is actually a member of AIM. Maybe he always has been, maybe it happened during the 5-year time skip from Endgame, I don't know, it doesn't matter. What does matter is that the reason Wu's missing person became a missing person in the first place is because he was abducted by AIM and experimented on using Vision's body as a template. That's what Hayward meant when he said that SWORD had switched focus to robotics, nanotech, AI, and sentient weapons. They were repurposing Vision's technology to create something new, and our boy Ralph here was being used as the guinea pig. They probably also tried to make a fake Mind Stone, or at the very least tap into the residual power from the Mind Stone that was inside Vision. Next thing you know, Wanda's breaking into the place, stealing back Vision's body, and probably also saw this sad sack of a human being experimented on, and decided to free him too. Alright, now get ready, because this is where I introduce my Grand Slam.
The Grand Slam is a great deal of money.
They go to Westview, or are drawn there by Agatha Harkness, and Ralph, who, by the way, is probably not actually named Ralph. I mean, nobody else in the town uses their real names except for Wanda and Vision, tries to use his new abilities to control or manipulate Scarlet Witch, and I think this only partially worked because I'm pretty sure Scarlet Witch is the one who altered reality so that the whole world is trapped in a bubble. Something accidental but still innate to her, ultimately, that resulted in the creation of New Westview. Now, what our mystery man wants is still kind of unclear if I had to guess. He's either trying to control Wanda, or trying to get his hands on Vision to finish himself, or to tap into Vision's technology, or to complete the fake Mind Stone in his head. Maybe all the above. But our mystery man seems to have just as much of a vested interest in nobody getting inside of the bubble as Wanda does. This, to me, is evidenced by the fact that our mystery man seems to be the one mentally controlling everyone in the town and mentally compelling people to forget about the town or to not go into it. And I know what you're thinking. None of this really tells us who our mystery man is. Well, the final clue to Ralph's true identity is in the fact that we haven't seen him yet. My theory is that the reason he has been hidden this entire time is because he either doesn't look like a normal person, or he's a character that the audience is already familiar with. This plays into another reason why I don't think the main villain is Mephisto. If it were, he could just transform into a normal looking person. It's one of his basic abilities in the comics, and I doubt that he would go without it in an adaptation. No, Ralph's gotta be somebody else. What I think is that his appearance has been so significantly altered by the experiments that he endured under AIM that he can't be seen in public without alerting anyone. You put his cyborg appearance, his mental abilities, and his connection to AIM all together, and the only logical answer is MODOK. That's right, the mental organism designed only for computing, who overthrew his masters and became the mental organism designed only for killing. Now, this theory isn't perfect. There's still a lot that hasn't been revealed yet. We've still got 4 episodes left, and I wouldn't be surprised if this theory becomes absolutely inert by the next one. But it's a fun thing to think about. I would love to see MODOK show up in the MCU at some point. And also, not only is he a unique looking villain than anything we've seen before in the movies, but he'll also make a great mainstay character. He could take over AIM and just be a recurring villain for the Avengers or individual heroes like Ant-Man or Vision. It really doesn't matter. Feel free to tell me I'm an idiot in the comment section and maybe subscribe. This probably won't be the last video I make. Bye.